After learning various coding languages, doing multiple games, making my own games, working on teams, learning multiple languages, I've kind of come to realize some of these obscure things that are definitely harming you. And I don't think I would even be able to understand these parts by myself if it wasn't for like the time I've spent doing this. There are habits that we spend doing every day that are harming us. It is literally a form of self-harm. Now, before you watch this video, I want you to know that this is not a video to scare you. This is not a video to do any of these negative things, but I will tell you, you better drop a like, you better subscribe because I got some content coming for you guys, and also hit the noti bell. YouTube doesn't send notifications. Anyway, let's get to it. The first thing you're mainly doing, I'll get this one right out the way. You're not coding enough. And I mean this. If you spend more time reading than coding, you're not going to make progress. You're going to make more progress towards being scared. I mean, you are probably committing a form of self-fear mongering by going on Reddit and Twitter every day, looking at a bunch of posts about, what's going on? What are these people doing that I'm not? Well, to compare yourself in the first place, you had to get somewhere. And by comparing yourself, you're not getting anywhere anymore. You completely hindered your progress. I do this every day.
Get it done.
For example, this is my project folder right here. I think I've looked over this a few times and I haven't really felt happy with any of these things. But that's completely normal. It's really easy to go into one of your directories and just take a look and be like, damn, like, why do I suck? And of course you're gonna feel like you suck. Dude, there is so much stuff on the internet right now. It is unbelievable. Like, I've never seen so many frameworks, so much AI, so much this, so much that, money. I coded this app. Bro, there's so much like splat everywhere. I hate it so much. Let's get to the next part. I think this one's way more crucial, by the way. And that is, you gotta start reading, bro. Not being able to read, not even being able to read fluently or without being distracted, that is so harmful to you. Aside from being able to sit down and code for a long time, you also need to read stuff. And as we all know, English sucks. You know how much longer it takes to read a sentence than it does to actually just understand it? Now, what do I mean by this? Math symbols. Let's take math, for example. I saw an article on this, so don't worry. If you've seen this and you made this article, you know, I know I have 60 subs right now, but just in case, the article was like, hey man, a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. This is called Pythagorean's theorem. And you can figure out, you know exactly what that means. You know the processes behind it because, you know, you've understood the math to get there. You understand that a squared plus b squared is c squared because of the triangles, right? Yeah, that makes sense. Well, imagine you took the word version of that. You know, the squares on each side and, you know, every single one of the formulas with this, that. It's like reading a math book. You know, it's not very easy to decipher. And that's kind of what I'm getting from this. However, it's not going to go away. So I think to improvise on this, you just gotta just read, bro. I'll give you some like game real quick. I love Six of Crows. Both books, by the way. Second one's pretty damn good. I recommend Year One, Project Hail Mary, Aragon. How do you say that? I recommend East of Eden. And I read another one, hold on. And The Things They Carry. Now, honestly, when I first started reading, it was not easy. If you guys don't know, I have ADHD. I'm prescribed. I'm finally able to read again. And it's a very serious thing, by the way. If you feel like you're struggling, go and get some medication. Obviously, I'm not going to push you. If you feel like you're being lazy. But there's usually some pretty exceptional and observable things about someone where like, hey, you got something going on. Anywho, read. It helps out so much. Now, this third one's a personal thing, and that is to just document your progress. I feel like sometimes we don't really feel like we're getting better, but getting better really kind of comes across as comfort in some ways. And no, before you say it, comfort's not good. What I mean by comfort is that things kind of just come to you. It's not like the movies where all the zeros and ones in the Matrix is like spawning in behind you while you're typing. That's a bunch of bullshit. That's not real, you know what I mean? You're able to do many tasks, various things, although you probably should be specializing in one or two things by then. I think it's a good idea because, dude, the more you know with computer science, the less you know. So I don't think there's really anything wrong with staying in bounds of a few things. Not knowing one or two things specifically, like doing the same projects in different ways. No, I mean like not digressing too far into something, but just staying in your lane. Now, what do I mean? Like, for example, I love backend development, but I'll also step in and do some machine learning because I can make some pretty sweet backend with machine learning and probably make a pretty presentable product. It's all a mental thing though. It's so frustrating. Fourth, very last one. I got some food waiting for me, bro. Look at me. Get some sleep, by the way. Number 5. All right, let me get that one out the way too. You need some sleep, bro. Dude, technical debt is real, but boy, trust me, sleep debt is even more real. And there's no such thing as sleep surplus. You just feel a little bit better. I think this has probably been one of the worst sleep weeks of my life. I don't really know why, but I feel it in school. Some of this does come from my mental focus issue where I feel like I can't think out of a certain bound. So a lot of these thoughts I have right now, they may be a little challenging to understand because they come straight out of my dome, not yours. But if we do sympathize on anything, I'm glad because we're getting on the same page here. But as you can hear from this, that little voice crack, I'm pretty sleep deprived. You know what I mean? I have so much going through my head that I start to compare myself to others, and it's terrible because I feel like I can think so much at once, and then out of nowhere, I feel like I don't know anything, and I should just quit. That's happened before. It's terrible, but we have to keep on going. I am getting better at just letting go. Anywho, that was kind of wow. That was awfully emotional, Max. Wow, it's my very last thing. This very last habit is killing you. You got to start coding things you actually like and not what the internet is telling you to do. Almost all my projects, I have my own interest in. And if you're doing the same thing, that's freaking great. But I'm mainly fixating on one thing. And that one thing would just be what you love. I love cars. I love games. I love anything visual. Like I was looking into some crazy math stuff. There's this thing called the Mandelbrot set and the Julius set. Dude, they look like trips, but recorded on video. Like they look beautiful. I want to make something out of that soon. You know, I want to make it interactive. I want to make a raycasting engine. I want to make a video stream service. And I mainly just want to back end some websites. And I don't need to keep track of these all in my head at the same time. I'll just focus on what I love doing, what's in the present. That's really the only way your brain can fully observe things. Psychology low-key supports that. Dude, do some little research on your brain and the subconscious, and I bet you'll probably find some things that perfectly ascertain what I'm saying. But anywho, thanks so much for watching this video. Please drop a like, please sub, do all the above, comment. I just had to drop all this lore on you guys. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.